Hidden luxury, 5 understated brands that old money swears by. Forget everything you know about luxury. This isn't about flashy logos, Instagram bait accessories, or brands that scream, "Look at me." Instead, we're diving deep into the secret world of understated opulence, the kind of luxury that whispers instead of shouts. These are the brands that the truly wealthy have been keeping to themselves, passed down through generations like well-guarded family recipes. We're talking about clothing and accessories so refined, so meticulously crafted, that their price tags are almost an afterthought. These are the sartorial holy grails that make old money smile knowingly while the rest of the world scrolls frantically through designer hashtags. Smash that like button as we take you on this hidden luxury journey. 1. Loro Piana. Oh, this is good. Another cashmere sweater? Groundbreaking. But when it's Loro Piana, it's like comparing a Prius to a Rolls Royce. They're technically in the same category, but worlds apart in execution. Founded in 1924 by Pietro Loro Piana in Italy's Piedmont region, this family affair began as a wool merchant before evolving into the holy grail of cashmere and vicuna. The brand sources the world's finest fibers. We're talking baby cashmere harvested once in a goat's lifetime, and vicuna wool from the Andes that quite literally is worth more than gold. What makes Loro Piana the quintessential old money brand is its absolute allergy to flashiness. No logos plastered across chests. No trendy nonsense that will be embarrassing in 6 months. Just impossibly perfect knits in shades like cloud, whisper, and barely there beige that somehow cost more than your monthly rent. Their clientele? People who winter in Gastonde and say things like, "We summer in the Hamptons," with a straight face. The type who'd rather die than discuss how much anything costs, yet drops $10,000 on a coat without blinking. The duchesses, the hedge fund wives, the inherited wealth crowd, who learned about the brand from their mothers, who learned from their mothers. Loro Piana isn't just clothing, it's a whisper network of wealth. It's a sartorial equivalent of perfect teeth or good posture, a subtle signal that you belong to a certain echelon. The pieces aren't meant to impress the masses. They're recognized only by those already in the know, which is precisely the point. Old money doesn't shout, it whispers. Loro Piana. 2. Brunello Cucinelli. Listen, if you've ever wondered what happens when Italian craftsmanship meets philosophical do-goodery, and who hasn't? Brunello Cucinelli is your answer. The backstory reads like a fairy tale for grown-ups. In 1978, Brunello, first name basis seems right for someone this passionate, had this wild idea to dye cashmere in colors when everyone else was keeping it beige and boring. Fast forward to today, and he's transformed Solomeo, a 14th century Italian hamlet, into his company HQ. Not just an office, a legitimate medieval village where artisans create humanistic enterprise. Because why work in a cubicle when you can handcraft $2,000 sweaters in a restored castle? What makes Cucinelli utterly unique in the luxury space is that he's basically running a Renaissance patronage system in the 21st century. Workers receive higher than average wages, take 90-minute lunch breaks, and clock out at 5:30 sharp. No emails after hours. There's even a company theater where employees perform Greek tragedies because nothing says, "I've made it," like reciting Sophocles after crafting $400 t-shirts. The pieces themselves? Think monochromatic perfection in neutral palettes that whisper rather than shout. Cashmere blended with silk, linen so fine it could make angels weep. Everything designed with what Brunello calls dignified imperfection, a fancy way of saying perfectly slouchy. The Cucinelli customer is that woman who runs a gallery or a nonprofit, quotes obscure philosophers at dinner parties, and somehow looks effortlessly rumpled yet put together, while dropping her kids at their Mandarin immersion school. She's paying for the clothing, yes, but also for the story of ethical luxury that comes with that subtle BC embroidery. 3. Charvet. Darling, let's talk about Charvet. Not familiar? Well, that's precisely the point. Since 1838, yes, before photography was even a thing, this Parisian shirtmaker has been quietly dressing the world's most discerning necks, wrists, and torsos from its home on Place Vendôme. Napoleon III was a fan. So was Proust and Coco Chanel. Basically, if your name ended up in history books, chances are you owned Charvet. The brand's specialty? Shirts. Not just any shirts, mind you. We're talking about garments constructed from fabrics so glorious they make other shirt makers weep with inadequacy. With over 6,000 fabric options and 400 shades of white alone. Because apparently, white isn't specific enough, Charvet has elevated the humble shirt to an art form. And don't even get started on their ties. The 7-fold construction is like origami for silk. The Charvet experience is deliciously old school. No online shopping here. Thank you very much. One must visit the mothership in Paris or select luxury retailers. The staff will likely remember your collar size from your last visit 5 years ago. There's something marvelously reassuring about a brand that refuses to bend to the whims of digital marketing strategy meetings. The clientele, presidents, royalty, and those who consider a $500 shirt a reasonable investment because it will last approximately forever. The type who'd rather be caught dead than wearing something with a visible logo. The kind who know that true luxury isn't about status symbols, but about the weight of a perfect cotton poplin against the skin. Charvet isn't interested in being Instagrammable. It's interested in being irreplaceable. 4. Bottega Veneta. Imagine leather so soft it could make a cloud feel inadequate. Welcome to Bottega Veneta, the brand that basically invented the if you know, you know luxury aesthetic, decades before Instagram made it a thing. Born in the romantic landscapes of Veneto, Italy in 1966, Bottega Veneta emerged as the ultimate rebellion against logomania. Their revolutionary manifesto? No logo. Long before it was cool. While other brands were plastering their names everywhere like desperate teenagers seeking validation, Bottega was quietly perfecting the art of intrecciato, that mind-bending woven leather technique that looks so complex it might as well be a medieval craft passed down through secret societies. The brand's DNA is pure Italian craftsmanship with a dash of "we don't care what you think" attitude. Each bag is assembled by a single artisan, taking approximately 2 to 3 days to complete. We're talking about leather manipulation so precise it makes brain surgery look like finger painting. Their signature woven leather isn't just a design choice. It's a middle finger to disposable fashion, a textile so intricate that each piece becomes a generational heirloom. Under Daniel Lee's creative direction and now Matthew Blasy's, Bottega transformed from a quiet luxury brand to the cool kid everyone wants to be friends with, without actually trying to be cool. It's the fashion equivalent of that impossibly chic person at the party who doesn't need to introduce themselves because everyone already knows who they are. Bottega doesn't chase trends. Bottega creates them, then quietly walks away before anyone realizes what just happened. It's not about being seen. It's about knowing you're wearing something extraordinary, even if nobody else gets it. 5. John Lobb. Let's talk shoes, but not just any shoes. We're entering the realm of John Lobb, where footwear isn't just an accessory. It's a bloody religious experience. Founded in 1849 by, you guessed it, John Lobb himself. This brand began as a humble cobbler's workshop in London. But humble is where the simplicity ends. These aren't shoes. These are architectural marvels that happen to protect your feet. Each pair is a bespoke masterpiece that takes up to 50 hours to create, with measurements so precise they make NASA look sloppy. The bespoke process? It's not shopping, it's a courtship. Clients undergo multiple fittings with measurements taken so meticulously that your foot becomes a work of art. We're talking plaster casts, multiple consultations, wood casts carved specifically for your unique foot geometry. A pair of John Lobb bespoke shoes costs more than most people's first car, typically starting around $8,000, and climbing faster than your anxiety during tax season. But here's the kicker. These aren't just shoes for show. These are generational investments. Properly maintained, a pair of John Lobb shoes can last decades, potentially outliving the person who first commissioned them. They're passed down like family heirlooms, each scuff and polish telling a story of elegance, craftsmanship, and quiet wealth. The clientele. Think global CEOs who don't need to prove anything to anyone. Royalty who understand that true luxury is about perfection in details nobody else will notice. The type of people who have personal cobblers on speed dial and consider shoe maintenance a form of meditation. John Lobb doesn't do trends. John Lobb does timeless. In a world of fast fashion and disposable everything, these shoes are a middle finger to consumerism, crafted with such precision that they become a personal statement of understated excellence. Forget dropping names. These shoes, they speak for themselves. Now let's consider a worthy mention, not as old, but definitely understated. The Row. Imagine if minimalism had a baby with a trust fund. That's The Row. Founded in 2006 by Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Yes, those Olsens. The Row emerged as a fashion ultimate plot twist, from child stars to creators of one of the most respected luxury brands in the world. Nobody saw that coming. Yet here we are, with a label so understated it practically whispers. Named after Savile Row, London's famous tailoring street, the Row specializes in pieces so luxurious they can make cashmere look like polyester. Their aesthetic? Think stealth wealth on steroids. Nothing screams money quite like clothes that look simple until you touch them and they realize they're made from fabrics that cost more than your car payment. The brand eschews logos, flashy hardware, and basically anything that would help you identify it in a photo, which is precisely why insiders love it. A $990 t-shirt that looks like any other black t-shirt? Revolutionary. Wearing something that no one else can identify unless they're a part of the club? Priceless. Their flagship stores are like art galleries where clothes happen to be for sale. Sparse, museum-like spaces where even the hangers are meticulously curated. Shopping appointments are encouraged. Walk-ins are tolerated, and visible enthusiasm is gently discouraged. The ultimate irony? A brand created by celebrities that's now the uniform of those who would rather die than be seen as celebrities themselves. That's it, ladies. Drop a comment below. Which of these brands surprised you the most? Subscribe now and hit the notification bell for more content.